Everybody, it's Jennifer Cotton, the childless millennial, and I just want to let you in a little secret. I'm responsible for introducing Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle to Oprah for the very first time. Now, I know you don't believe me, and you may not even care, but I just want to share this little story with you. So, I was working as an intern at the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I was minding my own business when one day I got a phone call. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Hey, Jen, it's Darian Ward. Darian Ward was my mentor at the time. She was also a news anchor for Fox 26 News in Houston, Texas. I said, hey, Darian. She said, hey, Jen, listen. My friend Matthew Knowles and I were talking the other day, and he was just telling me how much Beyonce loves Oprah and how much she would love to meet her. And he was saying how much he would love to have the girls on her show to promote their new Christmas album that's coming out. And I was telling him that I knew someone that worked there and that I would get in touch with you and see what you could do. And I said, oh my gosh, of course. Give me Matthew's number and I'll see what I can do. Make it happen. Okay, great. So she gave me his number and I was like, all right. And then I realized I'm just an intern here, okay? I don't even know how seriously everybody even takes me in my position. But they may not even believe me when I tell them this. So what am I going to do? So the next day I go to work and I tell my supervisor and she's like, oh my gosh, Oprah loves Destiny's Child. She's always walking around singing, say my name. She would love to have them on the show. I just bet you got to go talk to the show producer. Now, mind you, I worked as a writer in Oprah.com, which was a different department. So she put me in touch with the lady that I had to talk to. I called the producer, rehearsed what I had to say beforehand, practiced it a couple of times so I would sound real professional, like I knew what I was talking about. So I called her, left her a voicemail. Shortly, she called me back, left me a voicemail, and in the voicemail she said, oh my gosh, Oprah loves Destiny's Child. Of course she would love to have them on the show. Call me back. I would love to get the details of this, and I also would like to find out how you got in the middle of all this. So we finally got on the phone together, and she asked me a few questions. I gave her Matthew's number. She asked me a few questions about me, what school I went to, what was my major, how was I liking my internship, and I told her I'm loving it here. I've been coming up with a lot of ideas for the website that incorporate the show. And I also have some ideas for the show. And she said, you should come by my office and pitch them to me. And I was like, great. Then we hung up the phone and I realized I've never pitched anything before. So not only do I have to learn how to pitch, but I got to go in there with confidence because I told this lady that I had some good ideas. So I believed in my ideas. So I rehearsed them a few times, finally went into her office, pitched them to her, and she loved it. She was like, you got to go share these ideas with the producer who handles pitching ideas to Oprah. She put me in touch with her. I called her, set up a time to go by her cubicle. I go by her cubicle. I walk up, and immediately she takes one look at me, and I'm like, hi. She looks at me, and she's like, hi. And I was like, oh, this is not going to go well. So she begins to give me the death stare. And I'm like, okay, let me just get through this because I don't know what I've done. I guess I'm just happy to be here and maybe that's putting you in a bad mood. Honestly, I think the lady had some self-hatred issues going on. I think my joy brought her pain for some reason. I hate to say this, but I think it was some black on black hate going on. I don't think she liked the way she looked. I think when she looked at me, she hated herself even more for whatever reason. Okay? For whatever reason. I'm not even going to say what she looked like because it's irrelevant. But I will say this. I shared my ideas with her. And toward the end, I shared my last idea, which had to do with how to save money in college and all these different creative ways that I save money, how I cut corners. all the ways I saved on everything from health expenses to school supplies to dorm expenses to transportation expenses to food expenses, everything. And when I pitched them to the other producer, she loved it. She was like, "This is great." When I pitched them to this lady, she was like, yeah, okay. So those other ideas are good. And yeah, those are good ideas, but yeah, you need to stop trying to be on the Oprah Winfrey show. And I was like, really? Wow. I was stunned. I was like, first of all, I'm not trying to be on the Oprah show. I'm just pitching my ideas to you. If you think that based on what I'm saying, then that's something that you see in me. Obviously, you must think that I would be a good guest on her show, and you don't want me to be on the show, because that's not where I was going with this at all. So I just said, okay, not trying to be in the show, but okay. And I didn't even say okay. I just looked at her. I was like, I'm gonna go now. And she was so nasty to me. She was so nasty to me, and she was so ugly. That just made her spirit was ugly, and it just made her like an ugly person. Aside from the fact that she was an ugly person, if you're ugly on the inside, it makes you ugly on the outside. So that's what I believe. So if she would have been nice, she'd have been beautiful. That's just what I believe. And so that was that. Fast forward 10 years later, I'm watching the Oprah show. And lo and behold, I look up and this lady is on the show. And Oprah's talking about her, and Oprah's saying how she watched her grow up on the show, and she watched her evolve into this young woman, and watched her build a family, and how much she's grown. And I thought, so who's trying to be on the show now? Maybe she wanted to be on the show the whole time, and when she heard my idea, she was like, you ain't getting on the show, boo-boo. I'm getting on the show. So anyway, that was that. So Destiny's Child got on the show. I watched it that fall. They promoted their Christmas album. That was the beginning of a great relationship with Beyonce and Oprah. And I'm proud to say that, you know what? I made that happen. No, I never got a phone call from anybody saying, thanks for making that happen. But you know what? I wasn't looking for that. And I don't really care, because I don't need thanks for that. I did that in good faith because I was a fan. And I feel like anybody would have done that. So I wasn't looking for thanks. I wasn't looking for praise. I was just doing something that I thought was the right thing to do. I feel like one day I might meet Beyonce. And if I ever meet her, do you know what? I'm not going to tell her about this. I'm not going to say, B, one day about 15 years ago, I was working as an intern. It'll probably be about 15 years maybe by the time I meet her. And I got a phone call, and this lady knew your dad, and I got your dad's cell number, and I put him in touch with her. I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because Beyonce ain't going to care. She is not going to care, okay? So, yeah, that's the story, and that's that. So watch my next video, because in the next video, I'm going to be sharing the number one question that I always get, which is, how'd you get the internship? How'd you get to work for Oprah? I'm going to be sharing how I got the internship, what the interview process was like, what the application process was like, what the job was like, and how you can get a job working for OWN or the dream internship of your choice. Tips and tricks and recommendations on how to get it done and how to make it happen, no matter where you live. Resources and hacks. I'm going to be sharing that for you or for someone that you may know that is looking to get a high-end internship. So stay tuned, and thanks for listening. Bye.